wagging its tail like a dog, like, I did good!
He likes me. Alright. I don't really have any announcements other than it's good to be back, welcome, etc., 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 etc. Let's just jump into the game. I've got players to kill. Rooms to explore. We have rooms.
We've got collaborative D&D to play.
We've got what might
New
we call
age
it?
D&D.
Collaborative storytelling. All right. Give me a second here. Let me adjust my character just a bit so he looks normal, as normal as I can. All right. And let me also get us some. How about just a little bit of music? Of
Only a
my
little bit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 options, I really need some source of copyright free music to really expand this library out because I don't have anything. We're going to go with Oppressive Gloom for now. All right. Anyone hungry for inspiration?
Always.
Would you like to recap?
I sure can.
Sweet.
Uh, so last week, or not last week, last time we played, anyways, we woke up. There was some general faffing about for a little bit. Actually, no, we started off in the dungeon last time.
Yes.
That's right. Okay, so never mind. Scrap what I just said. So we started off in the dungeon, and we were like, okay, we need to be super duper quiet about this. Oh, by the way, Muse, the thing that you brought, yeah, I'm just gonna chuck that into the ether. I don't, you just, yeah, don't worry about it. Excuse me, no, you're absolutely not. That's mine. No, familiar, fly away, and minor cacophony ensued, drawing the attention of some very dandy dapper vampires, and they wandered in and were like, come with us, please. And we were like, yeah, sure, why not? We went in. They were fancy and menacing and spooky, and none of us bought it. They were very confused. And finally, we're like, okay, listen, we don't really want to fight. We kind of have to do this. This is a joke. Like, this is super for real serials. And we're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then they shoved us into a room, and some very weird vampire man who is dripping with some very unfortunate goo, came in with a flesh golem and was like, hey, where the fuck's my meal? And oh god, what's his name? Uthgarl or Uth?
Yeah,
Hey, I got it right. Anyways,
well, it's more of a K, so
Uthgarl.
So think Ook and then Tarl.
Uthgarl. Got it.
No. You know what? Whatever, sure.
Carl.
You are the last person to give me shit about names. Anyway. I'm sorry, that was mean. It was true, but it was mean. But yeah, he was like, hey, it's fine, we got the gold. And the other dude was like, no, that's not okay. You're gonna get me a fucking meal or I'm gonna rip your face off. Okay, goodbye. I'm gonna go take a nap. So he fucked off, and then we came out and we were like, ooh, that's really not great. Do you want us to kill that guy for you?
Yeah, it's rough, buddy.
That's rough. We can take care of that if you want. And Uktarl is like, I mean, like, you really don't, like, this is super dangerous. You're really underestimating this. And Muse and Eldar were pretty, like, uniformly like, no, like, this is like, that's fucking Shadowfell shit. Like, we can probably take care of that. Like, we're gonna have to proceed with caution, but like, we can take care of that. And everyone pretty much unanimously was like, yeah, we can take care of that. So we were like, yeah, we'll take care of it. And he was like, shit, fuck. I mean, if you're sure, like, I'm gonna be super in debt with you. And Muse was like, don't you careful how much you offer up to random strangers. Don't do that. And we were like, okay, there's a lot of shit that we're gonna have to do to get prepped for that. We're gonna wander around a little bit, try and find something worthwhile to bring up, and then we're gonna fuck off to the oh god, not the chantry, the fucking
The chantry?
god. I've been having a lot of conversations about Dragon Age.
Yeah, I was gonna say what a
Temple.
left turn that was.
Right?
Did
No,
you
we're
did you forget about the fucking mascot, Alora?
mascot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The animal I hate, that one?
The mascot of the active.
Yeah, the owl bear.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, a very cute, adorable baby owl bear is being held hostage, and we get to go save it. Congratulations, Blue! You get to harbor the enemy. Have fun with that.
I'm seething with rage.
I know.
That thing is a taxonomy nightmare.
Uh-huh.
Honey, it was made by a wizard who was probably crazy, so the answer is yes.
Or it was
And I will
made by a
never forgive
wizard
him.
that Blue spited at one point in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blue person.
The wizard that time traveled just to come meet me in present day and then went back in time to go invent D&D and make this animal. Specifically because he doesn't like me.
Just for you.
Uh-huh.
You should be honored, honestly.
Fuck you.
It's just so you know, James's points. I couldn't change it to gold.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe just points. Hang on. Let's make sure this works.
Oh.
Did you turn it on?
I did. I'm literally looking at it right now. It's turned on. Oh. But I guess Cloudbot's turned off? What? So I turned on the store, but Cloudbot in general had somehow turned off.
Well done. Well done.
Try this now. There we go.
Oh, that reminds me.
So it's working now. You're all collecting your gold. If anyone needs a loan, let me know.
Oh my god.
Also, players are not allowed to spend gold.
A small
Yeah,
amount
I
of a
know.
million gold.
Well done. Give yourself an inspiration. Though you're not. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Though if you already have inspiration, you can of course give it to others.
I do not.
You don't have to give it to others then.
Hey, can I spend gold on the viewers? I was going to ask that.
Oh,
I don't know how it would work, but
Spend gold on the viewers. I don't really feel like using this potion, but someone in the crowd can.
Yeah, that's good. That's gonna. I don't want to get addicted to Monster though.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I was just given a sip of Peach Monster, which you know how I feel about Peach.
yes,
It's delicious. Peach is delicious.
it's peachy.
Sorry, got a pun caught in my throat.
Ah,
Like a
the
hairball.
French.
No.
I'm quiet. Why am I I know I'm quiet. Give me a second here.
Are you using the wrong mic?
Finger looks weirdly deformed.
That's my cup. That's my leap
No,
motion.
that's normal.
There we go. That should sound better now. That's my leap motion, thinking that my straw is a finger. All right. So, yes, when last we left, you guys had entered this room full of dirty, murky sewage water.
You want to try
And
that again?
no, I think I nailed it the first time. Thank you very much. And you were just starting to explore it, so we're not in an initiative or a turn order or anything like that. By all means, go do your explorations.
Yeah, Eldar, if you could get out of the... you can dredge this in a sanitary measure. Let me just summon an unseen servant. How about that?
Well, I'm already in. He looks at his. What is this, like ankle deep? Knee deep?
Yes, and that's already too much. And you don't know what's down there. You could get cut and get some kind of disease. So how about you hop out of that?
Like cholera. You could get cholera.
I don't know what that means, but
It's not good.
And Muse will start ritual casting Unseen Servant.
Okay. So, 10 minutes roll by.
Please tell me you guys get out of there.
he's just
Well,
gonna
before 10
stand
minutes.
there for 10 minutes.
You're going to she...
I feel like Zoe's not in it. It's like she's on the spot where it's like
There is water there, but it doesn't go above like the soles of your shoes. Like it's on the floor, but it's not passing the top of your boot, so you're okay.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Eldar, you're like ankle or shin deep.
Mhm. And it smells really bad, right?
Uh-huh.
Could you please get out of there? Everywhere we go, it's going to smell like sewage. Anything with any nose capabilities whatsoever is going to smell us a mile away.
Zoe will gently kind of grab at his shoulders and pull him back to where she is.
And he will acquiesce.
Thank you, Zoe. He continues casting.
After what does it look like when Muse ritual casts? What does she do exactly? Because her method is different from a wizard.
So she has the Pact of the Tome, and so she pulls out this just pitch black grimoire with this dark red writing and these gold like filigree along the edges of the page, and it's essentially just like almost like drawing out threads and vines of black from the book as she speaks the words and incantations.
Could I Arcana check and see if Eldar knows what's going on here?
Of course.
Because this is unlike what he's been taught.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead. This is not the way any wizard you've ever met has done it. And you've seen wizards all have their uniqueness in how they do things, right? You've seen some wizards even do some rather strange things, but they're all based around the same logic of ritual casting. This is different. This is almost as if I imagine arcane ritual casting is more like summoning magic up from the weave, right? Instead of from you. This is more like magic is still being summoned from somewhere, but you feel like it's not from the weave. It's from another source, maybe.
Interesting.
After 10 minutes, the ritual is cast. Muse, what would you like to do with your servant that no one else sees? Basically, it just like the ritual just like ends, and then all of a sudden, without any real uh, visual cue, Muse is just done. Stands up.
Yep. Just stands up, kind of brushes herself off, and like makes a little like shooing gesture towards the water. Would you mind dredging the bottom and bringing up anything that you find, please?
The rest of you see as footsteps start plunking into the water. It is a slow, steady pace as the water begins to ripple as if someone's walking through it. And they walk all the way. Here, let me see if I can. All the way. Oh, can I not? All right, there we go. Can you see that? You can't see that. Of course you can.
Yes, we can.
You can?
We saw the last one that you did.
Weird. They walk all the way to the end, and you notice that the water starts to. What would the water do exactly with an invisible person? You kind of can see the water form around a person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that at the end of the room, the water is almost above, has to be above shoulders almost, because the silhouette of the water is just like the upper part of a chest would be, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second. Let me see if they actually find anything.
While he's looking, Eldar will ask Muse, "Have you named it?"
He blinks a little bit and looks over at him. An unseen servant?
Of course.
Why would I do that?
Shrugs.
Shrugs back, then kind of tilts her head and thinks for a second. And you can just kind of see her, like, almost filing through different names, kind of like shaking her head at a couple, just like,
I call mine Boppo.
what an interesting choice.
Muse, you feel like a tug on the hem of your pants. If you're not gonna name it, can I name it?
She looks down at behind. And what do you think it should be named?
Oh, that's a good question.
And Pud,
Uh-huh.
as you're about to say that, you hear a splashing sound. And the water, like there's a giant splash in the water, and then it starts to go still. And Muse, you know your unseen servant is no longer there. And it happened right around here. Hang on. Let me remember how to
You do
D&D.
it.
There you go.
She was kind of like smiling down at Pud, and then the smile drops, and she looks around the corner. Oh, that's not good.
Oh, can I not name it? Is that a bad idea?
Well, it's gone, so.
Well, bring it back.
Mm,
Muse
we
sits
might
down
want
for another
to-
10 minutes.
Well, alrighty then.
You
No,
said I could, and now it's gone. What happened?
That is an excellent question. I think there might be something in the far end of the pool. He looks down at the foul water. We might want to be careful.
Hello?
Yes.
He yells into the
Oh.
cavern.
I thought you were like, can nobody hear me?
No reply.
No reply.
Why would you name it that, Eldar? That's a silly name.
Name what?
Pud stomps their foot. We're talking about names for the servant because we went over the fact that it doesn't have a name, and I think that's sad.
I agree. That is sad. Let's go back to that then.
Oh my god. Muse is going to cast dancing lights and put them under the water to see if it illuminates anything.
Okay. They have you guys ever fired like a bottle rocket underwater?
No, because I'm
No.
not a fucking heathen.
Well,
No,
no,
because
I
I
mean,
grew
like,
up in California and the fire danger is always high.
right. Like, I mean, I've not done it myself, but like I've seen how it looks. I've seen
Yes.
videos of it. It's like that. The light kind of flitters under the water in 4 different directions and bounces off the walls, and you can't see anything other than just a brightening of tepid water.
Um, you said that it was here,
Yes,
about
more or less.
More or less. So something's definitely in there. So we need to decide if we're going to investigate that or leave well enough alone and get out of the stinking water.
I can't think of anything good living in a place like this. And he's gonna flick a few firebolts into random spots in the water,
Okay.
round about where the depression in the water was before it disappeared.
Roll me. This is weird. I never used this in 5e. Roll me 3 percentile dice. Or do you? How many do you think you would flick reasonably?
4 or 5.
Yeah. So roll me four percentile dice. Just God, I've never used percentile dice. Okay. So Eldar just starts almost casually flinging flame bolts, and the first one hits the water and sizzles. The second one hits the water and sizzles. The third one hits the water and sizzles. The fourth one hits the water, and it's more of a almost like an impact sound. And you see something arch up out of the water. Give me a second here.
Oh boy.
Kindly old lady.
Roll damage for me, Eldar.
Oh no. Hold on. There we go. 7.
For a second, I thought it was 26 damage, and I was about to call
I know.
bullshit.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
As some sort of gray-like substance that was invisible in the water until it started moving out of the water or above it, gets scorched by a randomly flung flame bolt that got 85%, which is precisely what it needed.
Damn.
I was like,
There
you know
is-
what? 15% chance he hit something.
Yeah, fair enough. Shit. Arcana check. What is this?
Yeah, roll me or an Arcana check. Anyone who's there can do so.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Hold on one second. My character sheet has decided it's
Damn.
going to blank out on me.
Zoe has special expertise in this, I suppose.
Didn't you get like a nat 20 on vampires too, or some shit?
I think so.
What the actual fuck?
I read a lot. I read a lot.
Zoe and Pud, You both notice this instantly as a gray ooze.
Oh, my 25 notices too.
I'm getting to you in a second.
Okay. I thought you just missed it.
No, I'm getting to you in just a moment. You notice that this is a gray ooze, one of many types of oozes, and that they can, especially when in water, be as hard to see as being, might as well be invisible. Eldar, you have actually studied these in the past because your character had some sense of fascination with them. And you know that this particular one, you've seen enough, not even drawings, but you've probably seen a wizard or two that kept these around for testing and things of that nature. This is a psychic gray ooze.
Oh,
It's
wow, okay.
amorphous. Obviously, it can move through narrow spaces that are an inch wide without squeezing. They can corrode metal, just like any other ooze. And Zoe and Pud, you would understand that as well. They can eat about through Eldar or Zoe and Pud. You know that they can eat through metal. Eldar, you know they can eat through about 2 inches thick non-metal armor in about 1 round.
Do I know what they can't melt through?
Magic items. And that's about it. Maybe glass. I don't see it, but I would assume glass is not something they could melt through.
Gotcha. I don't suppose any of you have a large glass You know what? It's too dangerous. That thing needs to die.
And you do know that this ooze has psychic abilities that are dangerous when threatened.
Yep.
I also need you all to roll me some initiative, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, I have to do that over here. As it is time for some of this.
It's time. No.
Hang on. I lost my notes. Gosh darn it, Roll20. How dare you be an almost free platform that allows me to play games with my friends all across the world?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Let me get this back over here. Alright. That's not what I needed. I need this. Yes. Please give... Okay, there we go. We're good. It gets initiative 2. Wow, there's a lot of stuff here that doesn't need to be here. When I pulled... This is so weird. When I pulled this up, there was nothing on the turn order. When I look back at it again, there's all kinds of things on the turn order. So you got 10, which means this one's not right. Muse, you got 13, which means this one's not right. Eldar, you got... So this one's not right. God, you guys rolled really well in your 0 session. That is correct. Okay, so we're good now. Let me order this. Eldar, what is your dex?
My dex is 16.
Okay, you go first.
Oh, wow, really? With a 15? Okay.
Yep. Well, the ooze rolled a 15 too.
Well, this ooze is going to, with the precision of a blind rabbit, completely miss with a firebolt attack.
That's a hit.
What?
No, sorry.
It's a natural one.
It would be a hit if it wasn't a natural one. You basically hit that 1 in 20 successful failure rate there, pal.
Just checking if there are any others.
What was that about not practicing your cantrips?
And he just said it was to check if there are any others.
Uh-huh.
Oh man! All right. Well done. I'm gonna. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna move you above him.
Perception check.
Eldar.
Uh-huh.
As you're the one that's attacked it. I need you
I am.
to roll me an intelligence saving throw, please.
Okay.
Oh no, how will he ever survive?
I know, but he's the one that attacked it. The one stat that everyone uses in the dump. Not this group. All right, you take. Give me a second.
Is this halved because of
Yes.
Megamond?
Because of what?
Megamond?
Why would Megamond have this?
A high int save.
Yes. This will be halved. So you take 5 damage.
Sorry, were you saying Megamind?
He might have been. Maybe he was. Maybe he wasn't. I don't.
You motherfucker.
Oh, he'd never seen that movie. And yesterday I was like, you know what? I really want to watch Megamond. And he's like, Megamond? Do you mean Megamind? And like, he'd never even seen the movie.
Oh my god.
It's okay. The fire hair hides about 2 extra feet of forehead.
Yes. So Eldar, you feel crushing pressure on your brain, as if out of nowhere you got hit by a migraine. You're able to throw up your defenses in time to ward off the worst of it, but it is very painful all the same. And bloop. Muse, your turn. Because it's supposed to be an ambush creature that's supposed to start next to you.
Very unfortunate.
What's its speed?
10.
It's an ooze, my guy. They are so fucking
He
slow.
coming for you. Gotta get you.
I'm reminded of that scene in Monty Python.
Yes, exactly. But no, my players had to be clever and use things like unseen servants and firebolts. Both of those hits.
Yeah, Muse is literally almost 100% utility. She has 2 damaging spells. 2.
Please do those damaging spells.
No. There we go. And damn. All right.
All right. Well, let me just switch over here as Muse's lines of black light just streak into the ooze and blow it apart. It explodes like a jello cake with a stick of dynamite in it.
What a visual.
And for like 5 seconds, you guys just hear plop, plop, plop as it rains down onto the water.
Oh. Just like looks over at like the puddles of ooze as it floats through the water, looks back over at Eldar, and that's why we don't go trudging through this kind of water ourselves.
Zoe's gonna go over to Eldar and grab his hand. Are you okay? You need me to cast Cure Wounds?
Oh, I'm okay. It's just it gave me
It's a pride wound.
bit of a headache, but that's all.
Bruised ego.
What?
Well, make sure you drink plenty of water if you change your mind.
Ah, that's
I'll
an
help you.
excellent suggestion. Thank you. And
But not
he'll
this
pull
water.
out his... No. Yeah, he'll pull out his canteen, fill it with sewer water.
Specify.
That's fair.
Well, for the moment, the danger seems to be over, but your dredger is no more.
Yep, so she goes back to her spot and goes back to casting. Before she starts, she looks over at Pud. Now think carefully about what you're planning on naming them, because names are very important. Goes back to
Pud nods
casting.
sagely, and it's very clear that despite the fact that you're kind of fucking with them, that they are very deep in thought about this.
Mm.
You know, I can just take a look real quick. It'll probably be much quicker. I'm already, soaked in this sewage as he starts breathing in. It's fine. It's fine.
Continues to gun casting.
Bud shakes their head. That's how you get really nasty feet.
I've already taken a feat.
That
Bud
is
cocks it.
fourth wall
Bud
breaking.
cocks.
That's too meta.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cancel you for that
Yeah,
one.
I feel like that's like some sort of anti-metagaming going on right there.
Yeah. Bud cocks their head. Well, don't you have two?
That you know of.
Are you hiding extra feet somewhere?
It's entirely possible.
Eldar, you see, what's Eldar's height?
I think he's a solid 6, like 6'2", 6'3".
Okay.
What?
So you see the water comes up to just above your pecs, not quite past your shoulders, but armpit level.
Let me see. Do I have the stat in here? I'm sure I did.
He's not that tall. Hang on.
He's pretty tall. Let me check the other game because I'm sure it was in that sheet. Yeah, and he's just gonna have an investigation around here.
Okay.
Bit of a nosy.
Roll me a investigation check.
That's another 1.
Still a
So let me just
13.
add that to my
Sir.
counter,
Jesus
which
Christ.
is now at 10.
So if we haven't already explained this to the viewers, James thinks that his roles have been hella
We
sus this campaign.
Let me just post this in here for you
Yeah.
guys to see.
So he's keeping track, and you know what?
I'm
He's not
inclined
wrong
to
so far.
agree.
Yeah. That's still a 13. So even on your worst day, you can roll a 13 investigation, which isn't terrible. You find that the statue, which Muse was able to tell has a faint magical aura around it, has a purple aura, and you can tell that this statue is harmless, more or less. One of the statue's arms is broken off, and in your investigation, your foot kind of trips over it almost behind the statue, and the arm fell off and just rested on the bottom of the water. You can pick it up and see that it's a stone arm. It's pretty heavy, given the size of the statue.
Mhm.
Picking it up would require him dunking his head under. I'm just
I
saying.
said he could. I didn't say he
The
does.
the arm would need to be. Is that what I'm
Would need to be what?
theoretically picking up?
What? No, I'm just
Is
telling you, you know there's an arm on the bottom of the floor. And you
okay.
can choose to pick it up if you wish.
But that would require submersion.
Unless you've got cleverer means, yes.
I have anything in my pockets?
You
I think I have
could
a rope.
just wait.
You have a snorkel.
Does it weigh more than 5 pounds?
Yes. It's
That
a
is a
stone arm, yeah.
Okay. So okay.
While you mull that over, I'll continue to explain what you see.
Mhm.
You do notice that the statue's head is hollow and has holes for eyes and a larger hole for. Gosh darn it, my eyes literally just lost place.
You can do it.
A
I
larger
believe in
hole
you.
for its fanged mouth. Your inspection also reveals that the head has screw threads and has been partially unscrewed about halfway.
Uh hey. And there's nothing in the head?
You look through the holes and you do see um, something in there. It's hard to tell in the dim light because the head, like the light's dim and the head has no light source, right? But
Mhm.
it does look like there is some parchment or piece of paper in there, perhaps.
Yoink.
You can't reach it through the like eye holes or mouth.
Oh. Can I remove the head?
Sure. The head screws off with some effort. Roll me a strength check.
Oh, hey dokie. As soon as my character sheet stops being irritating. Come on. Eh. Okay, yeah,
Alright.
that I roll good on,
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah, you have no problems screwing the head off, and in fact, as you screw it off, you notice that there's not the type of settling and resistance that you would expect for a head that's been sitting there still for uh, years. So
Mhm.
it seems like this head has been removed recently or unscrewed. So you unscrew it and you hold the head in your hands. It's about 30 pounds. It's pretty heavy despite being hollowed out because it is made from stone, right? And you
Mhm.
notice that like in the neck hole almost there, you can slide your hand through almost the back of it, almost like a muppet, right? And
Mhm.
you can pull out this little piece of parchment. And what you pull out is a little square or rectangular card, 3 inches by 2 inches, that seems to be made from a heavier cardstock than what you're used to for normal paper. And as you hold it up, the card says this treasure has been claimed by, and then underneath it in very flowing calligraphy style writing, the daggers.
Hmm.
Hmm. I
Um,
mean, they really should have actually like brought it up then, if that was the case. I'm thinking.
he he'll take the paper out, use reduce flame, and put his hand in the head and make it look like it's got flaming eyes.
As you do that, not only is it cool, as you'd hoped,
Uh-huh.
and cast weird lights on the walls, but you notice that when you shine a light in there, there is dust on the inside of the statue head. And other than what had been disturbed by the card, you see an almost perfect silhouette of what would have been a ring with what looked like some sort of rock or stone on it that apparently used to be there at some point, but the card was covering it.
Ah. Okay. He'll hop down, make his way over here. Nothing interesting apart from Jangles the head on his hand. This, if anybody wants it, and a note saying that there used to be treasure in here, but it's been taken by some group called the Daggers. Anybody know who they are? I don't.
I don't either.
Didn't someone mention them before? Or
Did they?
I don't think so.
hmm.
Not in this campaign.
Fair enough. Muse looks up from her casting, raises a brow. Well, that does look cool. Well, kind of leans forward a little bit and squints. I mean, if
Ah, you know what? Actually, Muse, you are correct, and our viewer Troll brought it up. They were mentioned as one of the groups that has gone down before you. That's right. Baboom mentioned or that
Oh
other
yeah.
groups had gone down. Thank you, Troll.
yeah, I thought as
Hmm.
much. Um, yeah, that was one of the groups that went down before us. I guess they're trying to stake claim. Is it so? To be clear, are they staking claim on the statue itself, or are they just trying to have bragging rights that they raided an empty room?
I think that it's the latter.
Hmm, fair enough. Um, I mean, if you don't want it and Baboom doesn't want it, then I'll definitely take it for my wagon.
Very well. Offers you the skull head thing.
Not a
I
skull quite.
don't know why I thought it was a skull. It's not like you have any kind of a association with those.
No, that seems odd.
That would be so random.
Go
Um,
ahead and mark it down on your sheet as we do track encumbrance here. This is 30 pounds.
Ooh, buddy. That's fine. She's barely got anything on her.
Because what's the point of a dungeon crawl if you don't eventually have to crawl from loot? Ha!
Stone head.
With your investigation, Eldar, you also did not notice any secret doors or traps or anything of that nature. Though you could never be absolutely sure with all this water here, right?
Yeah, of course. Never be absolutely sure.
I'm referring to with a 13 investigation, my friend.
No, I get you. I'm just making fun about a
So,
particular time in
so
the last.
yes, this is story time, everyone. As most of you know, we actually started this campaign just for ourselves about a year ago before I went on DM hiatus, and we got a few sessions in, and in one room, there's literally like nothing there. And James just couldn't accept that there was nothing there, so he assumed. And I was, of course, not helping any by going, "You don't see anything."
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
it was like 20 minutes of him just going, "I don't know if you're fucking with me or not."
It was very
I
distressing.
can't take that chance.
Yeah. Uh, you'll be happy to know these rooms are still here.
Yeah, it's like I have a problem with not being able to collect everything. Like spending 2 hours trying to find a tiny mist collectible in a particular post-apocalyptic game.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, but you are fairly certain there's not much else in this room. Where would you guys like to go?
Back the way we came.
Yep. Zoe will follow behind Eldar.
So does this mean I'm not? You know what? Like dismisses the half-summoned, unseen servant. Looks down at Pud. Just keep thinking about what you want to name them. Okay. I'll figure it out later. Eventually.
You see the armored head cock. I think it should be called Butler. Isn't that the name of somebody that you ask nicely and they do things for you?
It's more of a position than a name.
Well, then how do they stand?
On their feet, I imagine.
Oh my god. Butler sounds like a wonderful name.
Oh, good. Okay. The Pud follows along behind you.
the perfect anagram,
Oh, thank
perfect
God.
pangram.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because it's one of
Sorry.
those two.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have made your way back up to the edge of the hall. Where would you like to go? You are now back. Oh my gosh, what is happening? My my roll 20 is a little laggy, and it started just spazzing out all over the place. Oh
Mm.
hey, we are not over there. That's not where we. Okay. Does Firefox have like hardware acceleration or something? Am I missing something here?
It
Because this should
does.
not be this laggy.
Turning it on or off
It's
can
doing
help.
it for me too.
Yeah, try turning it on,
Use
or if
recommended
it's off,
performance settings. Hmm.
if it's off, turn it on. I'm in Firefox and
Where is it?
it's working okay. Hardware. Just type hardware into the
I
search,
did. It didn't come up.
and then click uncheck use recommended performance settings.
All right. Use hardware acceleration when available. Yeah, it says it is. Okay, so I'll turn it off and we'll see what happens. Nope. No.
You
No
might need
improvement.
to do a browser restart for it to take effect.
I don't want to do that. I'll have to close everything out. We'll just deal with it.
Hmm.
All right. You guys find yourselves back in the room with the mini demon reliefs.
Ah, yes, the one that we know because of the song.
Yes. Like Animaniacs, there's a song for every demon.
So we were going this way, right?
Yes.
Then let us venture onwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you continue on downstairs that go about 6 feet down, um, and you enter almost a forest of pillars.
Hmm.
The pillars stretch all the way to the roof, and as you enter the room, you see um, a skeleton of a giant constrictor snake coils up the top half of the northernmost pillar. This one right here. Uh, you also see words in common carved into the southeast wall that say certain death this way, with an arrow pointing towards the southern exit over here.
Hmm. Hmm.
Further down, actually, we'll take a look north. North, you see a hallway that just continues on straight, and to the west, I gotta scroll down a bit here because let me just point this out. This room is called 2A. To the west is called 21. Why?
Wow.
I don't know. Um,
What?
Down that hallway, you see what looks to be little alcoves. How do you pronounce that? Alcove? Alcove?
Alcove.
Acloves. Several acloves every 10 feet or so. But from where you are, it's hard to tell what's in them.
I love how you just asked, how do I pronounce this? And then immediately pronounced it wrong.
Yeah, well, you know what? As a DM, you got to make decisions and you just got to go. You just got to
Okay.
go.
All right.
So, you have 3 exits. One that says certain death, one with a hallway with many alcoves? Alcoves. I don't know why I keep wanting to put an L in there. And
I'm
then you
not
have
sure
an
either.
exit to the north. You are spoiled for choice, ladies and gents.
Any magic going on
Not in this
in any
room.
particular direction?
Not that you can tell. Not from where you are.
Does that include the snake up
That
here?
includes the snake.
So I like the way that says certain death.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to trick us.
I agree. Can I insight check the sign?
I technically can't stop you, but I can sit here and judge you while you do it with narrowed eyes.
I feel like investigate might yield a little more information, like how long it's been there, or if it's the same handwriting.
But you know what? D&D is all about the freedom of choice, James.
Yeah, I'll invest it inside the sign.
Not that much freedom. Not that much freedom. You can't just combine skills. Yes, I'd like to make a survival check. That's survival and stealth mixed together, please.
Yeah, I think this is a new thing that should happen.
Well, you're welcome to think that. You are investigating. It's not a sign. It's carved into the wall in common.
Oh,
Yeah.
carved in?
Yes, carved into the wall.
Was this
Carved?
carved with nefarious intent, DM?
I mean, whoever carved this used sharp, angry strokes, and one might suss that from this writing style, there's a pent-up rage, possibly from parents that were neglectful.
I mean, I
You
feel a
can tell
26
by
should
the
tell me that.
pearl of the Q.
No, can't tell. It's just words carved into a wall.
Yes, but carved by someone with daddy issues.
You're at least 20% confident that's true.
Yeah. So what does it say exactly?
It says, precisely what it says is, let me scroll all the way back up.
I'm sorry.
No. This is my job. Certain death this way.
This way.
Yeah. This way. That way. Yes.
Can I graffiti the death to say health?
To say health?
Yeah.
Graffiti
how would you go about doing this?
So the D you could kind of turn into an H by filling in the bottom part and then creating another line. And then you could just try and squeeze an L in just before the T.
Got you, but like what method are you going to be using to do this?
Scratching the same way that they've like scratched it in.
With like with what? What tool are
With
you
what?
using? Yes.
I could use a dagger.
Yeah. So
I see.
when
I saw you gesturing on the stream when you were asking that.
Yeah. This is what I do like about having this avatar here. You finally get to see me gesticulate.
Yeah.
Yes, you start trying to do it and you find out that you can do it. However, these walls tend to be more resistant than you would expect, almost as if magic is interwoven into it. You can do it. It's going to take you some time.
Gotcha.
You start scratching at the wall, and Pud's head whips around. What are you doing? You're going to ruin your knife.
That's what they're concerned about. Muse is just squinting, rubbing at her temples. Please stop.
It would take you about an hour. But
Absolutely not.
Pud
No,
literally walks over and hands you a hammer and chisel. The right tool for the right job.
That would certainly speed it up.
How long would it take after that?
Probably 10 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Pud. That's so kind.
You're welcome. You should always ask me if you need a specific tool. Don't use the wrong tool, you'll ruin it.
And he nods like that's awesome. And he'll change it to say certain health this way.
So for the next 10 minutes, you guys just hear ting, ting.
And you hear the scraping sound of Pud resharpening his dagger on a whetstone.
So after 10 minutes, Anyone who looks at it, you know what? Roll
I'm
me a
happy to
sleight of
make a check.
hand check. Yes.
Sure.
Let's see how well you. Yeah. You know, if you read it fast, you'd hardly be able to tell. Anyone who takes their time to look at it's gonna realize that L seems like it doesn't really fit there, and
They have.
This was written by someone with different issues.
but if someone just glanced at it, yeah, it's passable, definitely.
Nice. So yeah, this way certainly seems the safest, given the message.
Oh, for fuck's sake. How high up is that snake skull?
Uh
I was wondering when you were gonna ask.
you can. It's about the tail of it starts at about head level, and it wraps up to the top, which the ceiling is about 10 feet.
Is it like glued to the pillar or?
Are you investigating it?
Yes.
Roll me an investigation check.
It's a skull squeak.
I understand.
Remind me, is Din able to help with investigations or no?
Din is able to grant you aid, yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay. You don't notice any traps. It's not locked.
The head's not locked.
As
Thank
you
God.
as you start to examine the skeleton, it, for the most part, harmlessly falls apart and clatters loudly to the floor. And you kind of like do one of those where like everything starts falling down. You kind of do that reaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything clatters to the floor, and you look up and you see that everything has fallen to the floor except like the last 6 inches of its neck and its head.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And it seems as though the snake had actually gripped the pillar with its teeth. It's about 9 feet up, in like a foot from the roof.
He just like stares up at it, fists on hips, and just like very lightly like stomps her foot. And just like,
You have like 10 minutes to work
Dude,
at it.
you've got time.
yeah, but
I like to
still.
imagine when everything clattered, the tinking stopped, and then just resumed
Everybody
again.
looks
Yeah.
at you, yeah.
Oh my god, it's like the Magoos went into dungeon of the Mad Mage.
She just like pauses, hears the tinking stop, looks over. Fucking go on. Finish your
Do you-
business.
Everybody's like, damn, all right.
Hmm.
You could lasso it down. Do you have rope?
He does not have rope, no.
Hey Zoe,
He
what's
has
your
a
strength
dagger.
score? You wanna give Muse a boost?
My strength is a +2, but I can try.
A +2 is better than average. That's not bad strength.
It's better than me, that's for fucking sure.
I
Uh,
do have a rope too. Do you want to use the rope, or you just want to boost?
You know what? She's gonna fucking cast Unseen Servant and try and use that to that and Mage Hand to try and safely get it down.
Gotcha. You gonna ritual cast it?
She has time, apparently.
Yes.
Yes.
So while Eldar is tinkering away at the wall, you begin ritual casting. You guys are so lucky you're on the first floor. I tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and while you do that, We cut to up above the surface, where Baboon and Sophia are talking to each other. Do you think they're all right? Yeah, no, they're taking this seriously. They know the whole city's at stake. Swing back down to Eldar, hammering on an L, Pud sharpening a dagger, and Muse trying to direct an unseen servant in Mage Hat to grab a snake skull off a pillar.
It's very important, Squee.
Yeah, Squee.
I'm going to say, with the use of an unseen servant and with the mage hand, you are able to gently rock back and forth the snake head to pry it out of the pillar. Nary breaking a tooth. You break like 2 teeth off, but they weren't the big ones.
Those are the important ones.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We don't want to give him a lift.
So, you have yourself a snake skull.
Snake skull.
Which I'd say weighs about 2 pounds. I mean, snakes are not that heavy to begin with. At least not their skeletons. So, you have found yourself a snake skull, you have a freshly sharpened dagger, and you now have a message on the wall that says, "Certain health this way."
Oh yeah.
What is your next marvelous feat?
Pud
Truly.
returns the dagger. And you can feel the judgmental stare, Eldar.
Oh, judging for what?
For mistreating it. Treat your tools well.
Yep. Okay. All right. Certain health this way.
So you guys start going down the hallway. Give me a second. I love that this wasn't like a prank to play on other people. This was just justifying this decision.
Yep.
And everybody watched you do it.
All right, give me a second here.
Nobody said a thing.
Uh-huh.
All right, keep moving down until I ask you to stop.
Well,
You continue trudging down this very long hallway. Remember, each of these squares is 10 feet.
mm-hmm.
Any
No
any
magic
magic?
that you can detect as of yet.
Oh, gotta pie the corner. Gotta pie the corner.
God, why
And
is it so
stop.
laggy?
Everyone else, if you could move up to Eldar and Zoe. I will describe what you see as you pie the corner. A dead goblin lies on the floor. It looks like its skull has been caved in. And the way it's lying, it's almost like sitting up against the wall. And there's a pool of blood and brains around it. This seems rather recent. At least, without a medicine check, you don't know for sure, but at least this isn't like years old.
Is it trapped?
You'd have to investigate it to find out.
I will. Very carefully.
Okay. As you get closer, you also just notice that there are 3 pickaxes and 2 shovels resting atop a pile of rubble at the mouth of that. At like right over here where this square is. You can kind of see the representations on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me an investigation, please.
Investigation?
Yes, please.
Does anybody want to assist?
Someone can aid him, or someone can also roll a medicine check if you want to learn even more information.
Ooh.
Pud will assist with the investigate.
I was gonna say, or both. Really, there's no reason why you can't do both.
Pud will go over. They look down. Gross.
It is not trapped. The goblin is not locked.
God, good. Thank God. I was very worried that would be locked.
Whatever caved this goblin's skull in had a very large fist, like maybe the size of a very large man. And you can tell this because you can still see the knuckle imprints where it swung down. This was one clean blow, which leads you to believe that there wasn't much of a struggle here.
Goblin. I don't even give good loot.
I'm sorry, did you say if this looked recent or
You would need a medicine check for that.
I'll roll medicine.
Please do. It's good enough. Yes, this is fairly recent, probably within the last day or two.
Does the goblin have anything in its pockets?
The goblin does not. No. If you look around the corner, you do see that a 5-foot high tunnel continues past the worked stone. So it looks like there's an undeveloped section that moves on beyond.
Well, we found death.
Well,
Which is
I
weird, because
guess the
that's not what the
sign
message says.
wasn't wrong.
Do we want to play in the tunnels, or shall we pick a different path?
Can I have the pickaxes?
Of course. Eldar will help Pud gather the pickaxes. I think we should continue on. This seems like a promising.
Do you want
Definitely
me to
not.
look around the corner for you?
I'm happy to look. I mean, we could both look.
Okay. Pud like trots up behind you. They're holding onto the hem of your pants.
Would Pud like to alight onto Eldar's shoulders?
Pud weighs like 50 pounds, dude. They're wearing a full suit of armor.
It's mithril, though, isn't it?
Didn't our lovely god tell us it's only like 5 feet tall?
Yes, the tunnel itself is only 5 feet tall. And thank you
I
for the lovely comment.
definitely missed that part. 'Cause,
Zoe, you'll be the last one to be killed by rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Thank you,
yeah,
God.
not sure how I missed that, but absolutely.
Pud being 3 feet tall is like,
Well,
I
then
can go.
we'll crouch. Yes.
Mhm.
You continue on.
Muse only has to duck like 3 inches.
Yeah. Pud may scoot in front of Eldar because their walking speed is probably faster than his crawling speed.
That's fine.
Alright, if you would stop there so the camera can catch up to you.
Better.
Come on, Din, you can do it. I believe in you. There we go.
I believe in Din. It's roll 20 that's dubious at this point.
You enter what looks to be almost a dead-end hallway. And right where you're standing, Eldar, half buried in stone debris at this end of the hall, is a headless stone statue of a nude woman. You can also see 2 doors. A normal size door right here, and what looks like almost a double wide door right here.
Muse will send her dancing lights forward
Okay.
to try and eliminate some stuff.
Okay. You guys see nothing else in this hall except the headless statue and the stone rubble around it.
It seems like a 50-50 choice.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. How about we flip a coin?
It did, didn't it?
Or unless somebody wants to outright choose.
I say flip a coin.
All right. Left if it's below 50, right if it's above 50. Left.
Left it is. Would you like to examine that door, sir?
I would like to check it if it's locked and if it's trapped, please.
I understand. Please roll me an investigation check.
Why? What's a 14?
It does not appear to be locked or trapped.
I had a feeling.
Dude, you are rolling so abysmally.
I know, right? It's impressive.
Do you open the door?
Of course.
Excellent. The door creaks open, and beyond it you see another hallway. With a
Knew
door
it.
at the end. You
Is
walk up to the
it
next door.
locked or trapped?
Roll me an investigation check, please.
Fine. I
Eva, you
don't know
have
why
your
I
familiar,
asked.
right?
Uh-huh. For like advantage? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
If you want to, like, the way I imagine it is if you're using your familiar to take advantage on an investigation check, it's taking you longer. But when you're in a place like this where time is not really the pressing issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
That seems fine to me.
Sure. Okay.
There might be some things that a familiar wouldn't help you with. For example, if you're investigating something that it requires more intelligence to decode or something, sure. But if you're just like investigating a room for things like that, I don't see a problem with it. It is not locked and not trapped. You're very confident.
I knew it. All right.
Opening that door.
Yeah.
Don't worry, James. One day it'll be both.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Usually I'd be asking to look through like holes in the door, but if I remember correctly, these doors
Have
don't have those things.
correct. No holes, and they
Okay.
are airtight from top to bottom.
That's right.
You see a room beyond. Please enter the room, and I will tell you where to stop if I ask you to stop at all.
This alcove looks suspicious.
Does it now?
It does.
Well, if you like, you can roll an investigation check to see if there's anything there.
Muse is gonna try and keep her dancing lights at least like 10 or so feet in front of everyone,
Okay.
just to try and.
You are confident there is nothing there.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing we're all just continuing on until
Yes.
Yes.
this room looks suspicious too.
All right. Move just a little bit. There you go. That's perfect. And go ahead and stop there. So as you walk into this room, you see two more uh, alcoves. Alcoves?
Alcove.
Alcoves.
Alcoves.
Uh-huh.
I'll never remember.
I
Uh-huh.
know.
Eldar, the one furthest from you guys, the one kind of to the south, it looks like it's full of moldy bones that have been swept into a deep alcove. And
Hey.
the one that you're standing next to is a bit more different. Hanging from rusty manacles on the back wall of the alcove to the east is a tiefling skeleton missing its legs. Written on the wall above the skeleton, in what looks to be dried blood, are the following words. Well, actually, here's an interesting question. Words in a language that you may or may not be able to speak. Can anyone here speak Infernal?
Hang on. Hold up.
Looking.
Nope.
Is Infernal part of Primordial?
No,
No.
Wait, hang on.
tis not.
Negatory.
No, I'm thinking of Ignan.
Nope.
So I'm guessing no one can?
Nope.
words scrawled in a language that is mystical and harsh in nature. Would anyone like to do anything to try and be able to read it?
I don't. I. Oh, god damn it. I knew. Like an absolute fool, I didn't take comprehend languages, even though I thought about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't have access to that.
Baboon force.
You should take
Roll.
its skull so we can talk to it at some point.
Listen, I was
What?
going to get to it. I'm just writing a note for myself.
I see.
Well, comprehend language. Just needed to add to my shopping list. And it's this one, right?
It's the one up here. Correct.
Actually, Eldar will trace the words into a notebook.
Gotcha. I'm not even going to make you sleight of hand that. Just you can do a passable job.
Cool.
Muse wants the skull.
You want to touch the skeleton with the creepy words above it without knowing what it says?
Yes.
Okay. You take the skull. You now have a tiefling skull.
Woo!
You find you can't let it go. No.
Ah, shit! It's just stuck with sovereign glued to her hand.
Okay. Are you guys moving on?
I mean, we've looked at everything in here, right?
Yes, you have.
As far as we know.
As far as you know.
I'm just gonna do it.
Give me a second before you move forward with that investigation. Let me read this.
Mm-hmm.
Eldar,
Mm.
the door is not trapped,
Mm-hmm.
but it is locked.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It has a rather crude padlock against it. So this seems like a lock that has been added to this door, not a makeup of the door itself. Which I should stress, in case I haven't before, these doors all have locks built into them. You just have yet to see one that has been, for lack of a better word, activated, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is more of an aftermarket lock, padlock, and bar that has been placed over this door to keep it shut.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Um, I would like to take out my thieves' tools and unlock it.
It's the first time,
I
guys.
mean, look. It's gonna be a 1.
Please roll me a sleight of hand check.
Now, my familiar can't exactly help with this, can it?
No, no. Birds,
Okay.
owls don't have much ability to help pick locks.
Oh.
Pud can help you.
Okay, that can help. Are they proficient in unlocking things?
Yes, I'm proficient in like every fucking tool there is.
Oh hell yeah! All right, let's do it.
So, like, you go to start, and Pud like leans over your knee and like plucks one of the pins out of your hands and replaces it with one that's a much darker metal. Use that one
Oh,
instead.
oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Eldar.
The 29.
Yeah. So you immediately see that this is a 5-pin padlock, and you realize that the lock is fairly crudely made, and it could be difficult. It could be easy. You're just gonna have to start looking into it, right? So you place the torque bar and you put the rake in there and you start to pop up a pin, and you pop up that first pin and then the torque bar just spins and the padlock opens. As this seems to be a very cheaply made padlock.
He sighs heavily.
Pud claps their hands. See, that's my lucky pin. I want it back.
Of course. There you go. Thank you, Pud.
You're welcome.
So you found a lock. Kind of depressing one though.
Out of curiosity, what was the DC for that?
It was a 15.
Okay, so I was doubled it.
Yeah. Like, basically, it wasn't, because DC 15 for a lock's not terrible. Like, it wasn't a DC 5 or a 10. But, you know, with that check, you just nailed it way too easily.
There's no satisfaction from it. It's just like, oh, it's already
Yeah, it's
over.
like
That's
using
fine.
those practice locks
Yes.
that are see-through.
Yes, that's exactly what it's like. It's like, I just gotta, oh, it's already open. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
You just stick the rake in and the talk, and you just jangle it, and then it opens.
Mm-hmm. Please don't ever use those to lock your house. That's not going to keep it safe.
Nope. Going forward, can I lock these doors behind us?
If you spent a few minutes investigating the door, I would be able to give you that information.
Yeah, because I feel like that would be advantageous to us in terms of tactics and stuff.
You may have to convince Pud that they can't keep the padlock.
Well, I mean, with the doors, like
natural
inherent locking, yeah.
Given that you've opened quite a few already, investigated several, I'll just say, like, you take a minute to fully study the locking mechanism here. Roll me an investigation, please. And this would not be aidable by familiar. Oh, jeez. Right. So you find out two things. Goddamn. You know, your rolls suck, except when it comes to just hitting spot on a DC of 30.
Was that a DC 30?
There was multiple levels to it. You hit the highest level. Or rolling an 85% when you needed to roll an 85% or higher. You seem to be nailing those.
Yeah, but I've still rolled 10 ones so far. So
exactly. No, so there were lower DCs, but you hit something that tells you something interesting. So you're able to fairly easily determine that it looks like there is a key that can be used to lock all of these mechanisms. Obviously, you don't have the key, and what's more is that it's so intricate that you doubt you could make a mold of it either. Maybe someone who has been a locksmith for their entire life and is a master of their craft might be able to, but it's a bit beyond you as far as trying to, like, make a mold or something of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you want to lock these doors quickly and easily, there's a key, and you don't have it at the moment. However, you, being Eldar, don't give up there. And knowing that a wizard has made this dungeon and nothing is ever just what it seems, you keep pushing into it. And you see that deep inside the locking mechanism is almost like a small plate with little ball bearings in grooves. And you realize if you took the time to solve this puzzle of sorts with one of your, like, lockpick tools to move the ball bearings to the right positions, they would slide into such a way that the lock could engage, and then you could close the door. But in order to do so would take you 5 minutes, and you would have to roll a successful this would be, I think, just a straight intelligence check to see if you could solve whatever the puzzle of that door is.
And Pud, help.
If you were meaning to do so, possible, but you'd have to explain how you're doing so, because this is one of those things where you kind of have to, it's a very tight space, you have to look in there to see what you're doing and use tools to do it. So I'm not saying you can't, but you might get creative in how you're helping.
So, Pud, being an artificer, has used just about every tool in the book. And they will peer in there and then, like, they pull out like a flat stone that appears to be a piece of slate and start like reverse engineering the lock in like layers, like breaking it into pieces. Um, and here's a question. So I have an ability called Right Tool for the Job.
Mm-hmm.
You learn how to produce exactly the tool you need. With thieves' tools or artisans' tools in hand, you can magically create one set of artisans' tools in an unoccupied space. It does require 1 hour of uninterrupted work, which can coincide with a shorter long rest. They're the product of magic. The tools are non-magical. Could I make something to help? It would take an hour.
Holy crap. Yes. So if you took an hour to study this with Eldar's help and make a tool, you could create. How long do they last?
Just until I use the feature again.
Got you. You could create a tool that if Eldar used this specific tool, he would have advantage when trying to solve the puzzle.
Okay. I assume that I can't like create an exact copy of the key, but like at least something to help.
Correct. Which means it wouldn't make it go any faster. It would still take 5 minutes, but you'd have advantage to try and do it. And Eldar, you know that if you basically if you activate this lock and then shut the door, someone would either need the key or a DC 25 lockpicking check to open it, and that would include you.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Yeah.
And that would count for every door, at least all the doors that you've seen so far. But keep in mind that every door has a different puzzle to it. So it's not like you
Mm-hmm.
solve one and you've solved them all. No. So
No.
because of that fucking awesome roll, yes, if you took 5 minutes and if you had Pud's tool with advantage and rolled a successful intelligence check, you could lock the door or engage the lock and then close the door.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I should
I'm.
stress, just so that I'm very clear, this would not be something that you could do beforehand. Like, for example, engaging the lock and leaving the door open and then going and doing something to shut it later. The lock resets itself after 10 seconds. So, like, it's one of
Gotcha.
those things where the ball bearings slide into place, they pop, and after 10 seconds, it just kind of rotates and resets.
Cool. Very, very interesting lock design. Yeah, I would like to take the time if people are willing to wait.
Zoe wants to investigate. Looks like there's a body over here or
Yeah,
something.
the moldy bones? Sure, absolutely. While they were doing that, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Muse will help.
Ooh. Hold on. Oh, down.
I know a thing or two about bones.
Oh.
Ooh. So you do actually pick your way through the moldy bones, and you see that this is the body of what looks to be a bugbear. However, it obviously died a very long time ago. As you kind of pick your way through the bones, you do see that there's still a pocket in what would have been the trousers for this bugbear. And when you reach in and you pull out a leather cord that looks like it's been ripped apart, like a leather cord that looks like it was a necklace or something or held something, right? And
Okay.
tied to the end of the leather cord is a 3-inch by 2-inch rectangle of paper, and on that paper it says this treasure has been claimed by the daggers in calligraphy writing.
For fuck's sake.
Man, they're good.
They. Why go through the. They're literally just showing off. Mm.
Here, if you look over to Eldar, you see him preparing notes. This door was locked by Eldar.
Oh no, and Pud.
And put.
Uh-huh.
Eldar and Pud. It sounds like a law firm.
Uni.
Do you need your doors locked? My hands are spazzing out. I have no idea why. It just looks like my shoulder is popping. I'm just like, oh yeah, I gotta. Oh, now it's not doing it at all. There we go. Hang on, let me reset my hands. Yeah. So it takes about 5 minutes, unless you guys are wanting to take a short rest right now for Pud to make that device.
Do we have an estimation on how long it's been since we were at the vampires?
It's only been about an hour.
Okay.
Hmm.
Zoe doesn't need a short rest, but I don't know about Eldar. He did get hit. And then I think there's some
Muse is good.
spells. Yeah.
I could spend a hit die and maybe get a spell level back.
All right. We will rest while
Yeah.
Pud makes some magic.
Okay. So you all begin a short rest, and Pud begins working on this device. And this is going to have to be done with Eldar's help this one time, Pud, right? Normally you don't need it, but you're going to need help with the design, right? Not the design, sorry, the design of the lock.
Right.
Mhm.
Um,
So Pud pulls out this roll of leather and like unrolls it, and there are quite literally probably 100 tiny tools, like each maybe the size of your pinky, and they are all in different shapes.
Wow.
all right.
Eldar will pull out some graph paper and some rulers and stuff and start diagramming out what he's seeing in the lock with his
Mhm.
tools.
And Pud pulls up with their little slate stone and the sketch they've made. Okay, so I'm thinking the best way to do this is probably to utilize magnetics because that typically bypasses magic. So they reach into their bag and pull out like one of the like bargain bin crystals that Maboom gave them. I have this chunk of hematite that I can probably splinter into a small enough piece that it could be affixed to the end of a very thin wire. You'd have to be very careful, but I'm sure that that would probably give you enough of a grip on the ball bearings to move them into the right positions.
Interesting idea. Magnetics. I wouldn't have thought of it. And he's like nodding around this whole time, like
Mhm.
while explaining. And
I may, at some point, be able to perhaps affix a different kind of crystal to it, and I may be able to electrify it to perhaps give you more control over where the ball bearings go. But that would take a long time, and I would have to take probably 3 to 4 of these locks with me and try to um, make a key of sorts.
that works for all of these.
Well, I don't see why not.
Interesting. How long will this take?
Oh, probably a while. This is a very fun puzzle. So I'll need samples. So I'll
Indeed.
probably have to take several of these locks with me, and it might take several hours, or many days or weeks. It really depends. I'll have to take them all apart and see how they work.
I would love to help where I can.
I should point out these doors are not things that you can take apart. You're not going to be
Something
able
of a
to.
scientist myself.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to be able to take one of these locking mechanisms with you without like an excavation team of wizards and months of effort. These doors are nigh indestructible.
I can't just pull the pins out of the door and take it with me.
No, these doors are not disassemblable. Again,
So
like I
will
said, if you took like a month and some wizards, these doors are magically manufactured.
so would cross section diagrams on graph paper be enough?
It would help, absolutely. Like I said, you could make the tool to help give advantage. In order to make like a key that would work on these doors, Blue, you hit the nail on the head. Maybe with many days of effort and a lot of steps involved, absolutely it is possible. You're not going to be able to take a piece of the lock with you. You would have to use diagrams. You'd have to study several of the doors. You know what I mean?
Fine. Bud's willing to do that.
Yeah.
And they're like sitting there chatting your ear off, Ildar. I think maybe the best way to do it, if we can't take them with us, is perhaps to collect enough diagrams that I could make perhaps a blank of sorts so that I could manufacture the lock and then disassemble it once I know how to make it, because that's typically the best way to go about this. And then I could practice on it as many times as I need to figure out how to unlock it. I could probably make several blanks in several different arrangements of pins and ball bearings.
It sounds fantastic. It's something of this level of detail acceptable? And he'll slide over the diagram he's been making on the graph paper so far. Like he's mapping it out as he's investigating the lock.
Pud shoves their slate stone next to it. Yes, but make sure you note where the screws are, because I will have to know where those are, because if you undo the screws, that whole plate should come off, and that's important to note.
He nods and adds in the details.
All
Pud looks back in the door. No, those look like rivets. They don't have little crosses in them. Just put rivets over the top of them. I'll know what it means.
That was the difference between a rivet and a screw. He's proficient in tinkering.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, right. This one as well then.
Oh God, we're a whole fucking party of nerds. Good God.
Yep.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the room, Muse is just pulling apart some jerky, feeding some of it to Din, looks over at Zoey. Hungry?
right.
Sure.
After an hour passes, go ahead and take a short rest. Right. So
Is
roll and
this
hit dice. Take any arcane.
is this light activity, Squeak?
Yes. I will consider this light activity because
I bet nothing!
it says if the alchemist can make it as part of a short rest. So yes, I definitely consider this light activity. Much
Awesome.
lighter than converting spell slots into spell points, sorcery points.
Uh-huh.
So at the end of an hour, Eldar, you have a like whisker thin piece of silver wire that has been carefully attached to a sliver, like a splinter of hematite on the end.
Excellent. I will try it at this door, but obviously once we've all gone through.
And as you guys are saying that, you begin hearing Muse and Zoe. You hear it first, but it sounds coming down the hall echoey at first, but it sounds like little voices. And as it gets closer, you go, nothing in there. How about in here? I don't know. Did we check in there? I didn't think so. Let's check in there. And then you hear footsteps approaching.
And this is in
From-
common?
Yes, it is in common.
They're coming
Oh.
from like over here.
You hear noises from this direction.
Okay, cool.
Yes, correct.
Oh, Laura, you have a present.
I have a present?
Oh, you
Thank
have
you.
another advantage.
Thank you, Ozark. And I'm broke again.
Give me a second here. So yes, but you hear voices coming from that direction.
He's gonna kind of walk over and try to peek without being seen. Just gonna sneak.
What layer? Oh gosh, I put these on the dynamic lighting layer. That's not good. Let's not do that.
Well done.
Thank you. Oh geez. I don't want to move that. I just want these, and move to layer. Okay, now let me go to that layer. I know how to D&D. As you continue hearing, you go, how many today? Only 2, but maybe we can find more. Yes, maybe more. That means 2 for me, 1 for you. We split even. That's not even. What? Oh, no, that sounds right. And as they turn the corner, you see 2 little goblins that look very, very odd. They are normal sized for what you'd expect from goblins. However, they seem to be wearing, at first, it looks like they're wearing clothes made from skulls. But as they approach, you see that they're wearing cloth jerkins, but have tons of skulls sewn onto them.
My people. Oh no, I have to adopt them. Well, hello there.
They stop, and like one of them skids to a stop, and they look at each other, and look at you, and look back to each other, and they literally start Rochambeauing without a word.
She holds out some of her jerky. Hungry?
They finish the Rochambeau. One of them, the one on the left, kind of does a dang it type of thing, and the one on the right turns. Ah, hello, hello. I am Pibble. This is my brother Green. We are we're good merchants. We're good merchants. We have much to sell. Do you want?
Well, what do you have?
And he kind of pauses and stares at you, and then Groin whispers in his ear, "Oh, yes, yeah. I Not everyone understands. I understand. We have the finest selection, and I shit you not, this is just on the Rondarine Monsters list of skulls for sale.
You're shitting me.
I am not. Goblin skull
You-
hunters.
Oh my god. My children.
I didn't even name them. No, they are right here. Goblin skull hunters, Pibble and Groin. And they start showing off their mini skulls, and you can see there's skulls from human size down to almost pixie size, and there's probably a good 30 on the both of them.
My God, tell me that they put like sparkles and
Oh,
gems on
no.
some of them.
They're bejazzled, absolutely.
Nice.
Like, we're not talking just old rank skulls. These things have been polished, they have been painted, they have been spedacled. There's probably glitter in way too many places.
Oh my god, her eyes are just absolutely shining. Just face lit up, overjoyed. She kneels down in front of them and is just like, oh, oh, these are beautiful. Oh, that's what. Did you do this yourselves? Oh, this is incredible work.
Oh, no, we just find and sell. We have sister does these, makes them look good.
Well, you tell her she is an incredible artisan. she... How much?
They Pibble eyes you suspiciously. What you got?
He squints. Well, how much do you want for them?
They kind of put their heads together, and they put their heads together for quite some time, and you see they're kind of almost bickering as much as discussing. Oh, hello, we've been raided. Hi, everyone. Welcome to D&D. They put their heads together and discuss for a good 5 minutes. Okay, all right. And Groin actually turns to you and says, "How many would you want?"
He looks them over, seems to be thinking, kind of like nods her head back and forth. How much for all of them?
Their eyes light up, and Pipple starts rubbing their hands together and jumping up and down. And Groin says, "Oh, yes, that's exactly. For all of them, we would need this many of the shiny things." And he holds up all his fingers, and like his bare feet, toes flex upwards. And we need shoes, food, and hair, like lots of hair. And he kind of makes this motion up above his head of like almost like flowing hair.
Presses her hands together against her mouth, just kind of like squints a little bit. You do drive a very hard bargain. How about
We did mention food, right? Oh, I mentioned food. And like he like slaps him back there. I mentioned food. And they actually start tussling right then and there, like pushing each other back and forth. Well, I did say food. Well, I didn't hear you say food. And they start like pushing each other back and forth, the bones rattling.
Yep, she immediately like mage hand squishes one face away, like grabs the other, pulls away. Do not ruin the merchandise.
Ruin his dies. They seem to calm down when they're pulled apart.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe's gonna give them each a ration, just if they wanted to nom on it right now.
They tear into it ravenously. And in between mouthfuls of these rations, which I imagine is like, hardtack and dried meats and such, one of them just looks up and goes, then shiny things and hair.
Well,
I still can't believe Ozark rolled this.
oh my god.
Gave you an advantage and skulls.
Ozark, you've made my night. She kind of like fiddles with the end of her braid. Well, I will be the first to admit I'm not all that interested in parting with my hair. Do you just want a wig? Or
They look at each other, look at you.
do you need shampoo? What exactly are you looking to get?
And Groin looks at you almost like you would look at a child and puts his hands above his head. Hair! Long hair. Big hair.
You just want big hair?
Yes. Need. Very important. Have plans.
You have plans. I see. I see. Just for you, or
Shakes his head.
I see. Well, how about, and she reaches into her pouch. Uh she's going to pull out it was all of his fingers and toes, so 20.
Correct. 20. Actually, it's like 19. He's missing a toe.
Oh my god. So she pulls out, you said it was 30 skulls, right?
Correct.
So she will
Oh my
pull
gosh.
out 30 gold. How
Hang
about
on real quick. I'm
one
taking
gold
my
to
hands
each?
off because they can't settle themselves down.
They just want you
What?
to do the Macarena. I don't
Okay.
know.
And now
Permanent thumbs up.
permanent thumbs up for everyone. Hang on. Let me turn it back on so that my body can readjust. And then I'll turn my hands off. And down you go. There we go. Okay, we're good now. No more gesticulation today. Sorry, please continue.
She pulls out 30 gold and goes, I will give you one shiny coin for each of the skulls. And you guys wouldn't happen to live around here, just anywhere particular on the first floor, would you?
Pibble kind of winks an eye and taps their very large nose. We're not that dumb. Not tell you where we live.
Well, how else am I supposed to give you the rest of your reward?
Right here.
Well, not the
Right now.
reward.
And like holds his hand with the palm up and a finger in the palm.
Hmm.
We tell you where live, you come get all skulls.
You don't want a reoccurring customer?
They kind of put their heads together for like 10, 15 seconds. There's small, quiet. They give it back to you. We don't want customer that incurs rees. No.
So you don't want more gold from me?
Yes, we've got no gold from you. We want more. This many. Holds up fingers and toes again.
Oh my goodness. But did you have an interjection?
Yeah.
Yes, Pud has been like very carefully tinkering. They're taking these tiny hammers and breaking this piece of crystal into teeny tiny pieces. And you can tell that they're kind of partially listening because their head is kind of cocked in that direction. Um, and Squeak, could we say, for the sake of Pud being who they are, that they have like a roll of like wire somewhere?
Yeah, I think that's a fairly safe bet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they over their shoulder and they sigh. And they take out the wire and start unspooling it, and it's like it's the very fine kind that you would use for like electronics, where it's like
Sure.
it's very thin. Um, what are the chances that I could make a wig out of this?
You could do it. What I will caution you with, like, I don't see any problem with that if you take the time to do it. The caution would only be wire like that you got from like a workshop. Like wire like that would not be easy to make in this world. Makeable, certainly, and Pud would have some, absolutely. It will not be the easiest to replace. And you would have to use probably most of that spool. But it's I'm not saying you can't replace it. It's just not you're not going to be able to go to your general store and find more.
Mm-hmm. They'll have to find. Well, I mean, finding another artificer in town shouldn't be impossible, and is probably a good thing if they want supplies, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So they look over their shoulder, um, and they trot over to Muse. Uh, how bad do you want it? How bad?
You see she already has a fistful of gold. Looks over. Sorry, what was that?
Uh, they hold up the wire. I can make, but you replace.
Deal.
Okay, you're going to want to write this down. This is
Raises a brow.
This is 8-gauge copper wire. This is 300 feet.
You could
I
usually find
want
it in a
those
low voltage tech store.
Yeah. I want this exact roll, and you're going to replace it. Deal?
Pud. You just see her jotting it down in a journal. Fair enough.
Oh, so they turn to the goblins and in Goblin bark at them. Sit down, I make.
They do a double take because you speak Goblin. It's like they study you for the first time, and they put their heads together and you hear kobold, maybe kobold with weird hair. That's not hair, that's armor, and like punches them in the arm. Is it though? Is it? They like sit down, like they actually sit down, but they sit down bickering.
And Pud cocks their head. You want flat hair or fluffy hair?
Um, they say both at the same time.
Okay.
One says flat, one says fluffy.
But Pud points at both of them. Rochambeau.
They do. Boop, 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 boop. Give me a second here. We'll say 1, 2 is flat, 3, 4 is puffy. puffy hair.
Okay, all right. This is gonna take some time, y'all.
So you guys take another short rest.
As Pud, who completely switches gears to carefully unraveling this wire into the hair-thin strands and braiding it into one sort of woven mat
Mm-hmm.
so that the wires stick up like fur.
Gotcha. While Pud is doing that, if you guys wanted, since you don't technically have to short rest right now, if you wanted to do something else to fill up your time, I'm not going to make you roll again on the random encounter table, which, by the way, I should point out to the chat.
Mhm.
Whenever this is how the rules work in Dungeons of the Mad Mage, with few exceptions. Whenever they take a short rest or a long rest, I have a table of wandering things that could happen, of which this is one of them. Some of them are custom ones I've made. Others like this are actually in the game. And I'm going to be asking you, the chat, to actually roll for those. I'm going to look for some way to do a roll command. I haven't found one yet, so if you happen to have dice, and when I ask for someone, if you could, I'll trust you, especially since you don't know what the outcome's going to be anyway, right? But I'm going to try and find a roll function so that you guys can kind of determine what on the table happens to them. Eventually, we might even take suggestions for what could be on the table, but I haven't decided on that yet. So for the moment, I have my table. I'm not going to make you guys roll again because I feel like this is extenuating circumstances. You're here because of what you rolled on the table. Sometimes they're fights, sometimes it's literally nothing, and sometimes they're goblins with skulls on their shirt.
Oh my god, I can't fucking
I
this.
I was so tickled to death, and you never met them last time when you guys played. You just never rolled that.
Oh my god. Yep. So while Pud is taking care of that, Muse, also in Goblin, will turn back to the, I'm guessing, brothers and say, "So your sister, has she been doing this for a while? Like, is this just a hobby, or these are really well done?"
Uh, the why did I even close that? Give me a second here. Oh, okay.
Dilly
I
dilly.
didn't close this. Just over here. Pibble stands up like on their tippy toes and says in a slightly deeper voice, "I am Tist. That's my sister. She's Tist, and she's very proud of it."
To clarify, God,
Mm-hmm.
one of the goblins that
Mm-hmm.
is standing in front of me
Yes.
stood up slightly taller,
Uh-huh.
spoke with a deeper voice,
Yes.
and said that they were someone else.
Pretending to be their sister, yes.
Cool. Jorge, got it. Um,
Who claims to
pauses.
be a Tist.
I see. Well, you do marvelous work. Thank you very much. And she will hand over 30 gold.
He starts laughing. That's not me. I my sister. You thought it was me. It's not me.
Oh, you fooled me. Good
And like the
job.
laughter just continues way too long. But the laughter is less laughter and more just like a
Jesus fucking Christ. Like a strangled animal.
yes, exactly. It's like he is laughing. Yeah, no, he's laughing. Huh. They will take the 30 gold. And they've already taken the food. And now that the Pud is making it, they will start handing over to you a collection of 30 bejeweled skulls, painted vibrant colors as if they were at a festival of the dead. And or a look at them is mostly goblin, like I'd say a good 60% goblin, esque, but some humanoid ones, some tiefling ones, and I don't really know if a skull would tell you the difference between a human and an elf. Probably, if you are versed in that, which I have to give to Muse, you are. So probably a few elves and dwarfs as well.
Oh
And
boy.
it's actually really nice work. I mean, this is not crap work. It's not, you know, worthy of a museum or anything, but it's the quality you'd expect to find at like a convention artist booth, shall we say? Not that this is an artist booth you normally find at
I was going
conventions,
to say, this is a very interesting convention.
but you understand the level I'm speaking of. Good enough that you could actually sell this. It looks nice. Ah, yes, SkullCon.
Something you might find on Etsy.
Yes, exactly. There you go. That's a less creepy analogy. Sorry, I can't get it out of my head now. So you just go to a con, you have like posters and fake swords and those little backpacks and just human skulls painted and decorated.
Mhm.
But real.
You know, the usual.
Yeah. Alright. So an hour passes and Pud, roll me a it's gonna be like a tool check. What tool would you say you'd be using the most?
Oh Jesus. Tinker tools, I
Yep,
guess.
that would be probably that fits it perfectly because this is
Okay.
not its intended purpose. Do me
Yeah.
a tinker tool check, with
Um,
advantage because Eldar is helping.
there.
Could
Yeah,
I
no, I did
throw
see
in
that.
a guidance?
You
Sure.
can throw out a guidance, sure. Roll me a d4. All right.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Pet has essentially made a 1 by 1 square of leather that is covered in these little like hold on, I'll pull up the picture. Like this. It's like this, but uh it's like they're embedded in leather.
hang on a second.
Oh my god. It's a fucking bristle brush.
Oh my gosh, but it's very long. Yes.
It's like a 1 by 1 square of leather. It's a square. They're not tailoring a wig to these fucks.
Right. But I'm saying the wires are long so that if they put this on their head, it would look like a wig. Yes.
It'll look more like fur, but it is fluffy, and that is what they requested.
Got
They
you.
were trying to conserve their wire as much as possible.
So you're saying this looks like a short-haired wig?
Right.
Gotcha. I'm just showing this to the audience so they can see it as well. Uh, nope. I mean, if it's that size, I'm gonna say that doesn't work. This needs to be a wig. That's just a square of wire that you could put on your head. Like, it needs to look like a wig. So, like, you could still make it short-haired, but it would have to look like a wig.
Okay.
They're goblins, so they're not perfect when it comes to the art of how to make hair, but that doesn't look like a wig to anyone, I would think. I'm saying that with the same materials that you've already committed, that spool, you could make a much more convincing wig out of wire.
Okay. I, the player, am saying I know jack shit about wigs, and I don't fucking.
That's perfectly fine. You could still, it's up to you if you want to make it long or short, but you could basically do what you just said, but it more covers the head and looks. With a
Okay.
23 or with a 24, you can make a fairly convincing wire wig. I'd even go so far as to say that you and Eldar could find some way to shape the tips so that they're rounded so that you don't stab yourself on them.
Yeah, but they're goblins. Stabbing other people might be a draw for them.
So it's your choice if you want to or not.
I will ask.
Uh,
Sharp hair or dull hair? For stabbing other people.
uh, uh No, sister. No, she doesn't stab. No, no stab.
Bud makes a like.
Judgment.
I pull out a tiny strip of sandpaper, look at their project, sigh.
Then all I need to know is are you gonna do long haired or short haired?
It's gonna be pretty short.
Sure.
They don't really want to
I was
waste a
picturing this,
ton of
but like
fucking wire.
shiny.
Oh my god, you like curl the wire?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, hang on. Let me just open that up. So we're thinking something like this. And you hand it over to them, and they are delighted. Absolutely delighted. They try it on, and then Growing tries it on, and they look at it, and they look like they're inspecting it, like they're jewelers. Like they actually bring out like a jeweler's eye thing.
Mhm.
And then Pud, to you at the very least, they look like they're inspecting it, but they don't have a clue what they're
Uh-huh.
doing.
Yeah, but they put the jeweler's thing on, but it's like way too highly
It's
magnified.
backwards. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
backwards. And they look up and they nod. This is acceptable. Yes, yes. Ah, good transaction. Good, good sales. Good day. And they just turn around and start walking away. Boop, boom. And there go Pibble and Growing.
Oh, I hope I run into them again. Let me know if you have any more stock.
I vaguely remember a particular room that might be their stock.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
Pud cocks their head at you, Muse, and you can see them eyeing you. I'm starting to think we might be running into a storage problem. Is this correct?
Like starts to say something, then pauses, and then looks at her bag, which is probably just fucking overflowing.
Yeah, like it's not a big problem weight wise per se, but space wise, it's 30 skulls.
Pud nods to themselves. I will work on remedying this. And you will get me more wire, yes?
Yes, as soon as we get back up to the surface.
So
Thank you, by the way.
here's what I imagine. Because the skulls were attached to their shirt, right? They have small, crude rope attaching most of the skulls, which means that basically you now have the largest Mardi Gras beads that you've ever seen.
Oh
Um,
my
just kind of wrapped around your shoulders and just dangling from you.
god!
You literally have like 30 skulls. It's a little awkward. You can move around. It's not going to hinder you, but I'm gonna say you can't carry much more.
It's like skull Christmas lights and you're just wrapped up like a tree.
Yes.
I've got it. It's essentially like she very carefully like wrapped it around her waist like a sash, and she's tied it off, and it just like it you can just hear gentle rattling every time she shifts her skirts.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking about 30 skulls. Imagine doing that like 4 times. And it's not a
Yep.
gentle rattle.
Just air quotes gentle
Yes.
rattling.
Yes. Imagine that but 4 times over.
Ah, the human maraca walks through the dungeon.
Do we have disadvantage on stealth now?
I would say so. It's 30 skulls. Yes. I would say you have disadvantage on
Disadvantage on stealth, advantage on intimidation.
Oh, absolutely. It's 30 skulls. Now, they're a
Uh-huh.
little bejeweled, but still.
And that just adds flair.
Right.
Then you know they're serious.
Right.
I'm committed.
Oh my gosh. All right. So you have your skulls. You are down a thing of wire. You have a tool to pass the intelligence check to lock the door with advantage. Eldar, I assume we can say that you spent the 5 minutes to lock the door or to activate it.
Once everybody's through, yeah.
Gotcha.
Why are we locking this behind us?
So we know that nobody can ambush us from behind.
It does also mean that if we need to run, that we have a now fairly significant obstacle in our way.
Points at Pud. Yes, that was my main concern.
I think that learning how to deal with them is important, but it's also important to be strategic, and running when prudent is important to strategy.
True. All right. I'll lock the other one then.
Okay.
Doesn't make any difference really,
It
but
doesn't,
No.
no. But you go lock the other one. And roll me an intelligence check with advantage.
okie doke. Just straight intelligence, right?
Correct, and so for most doors, it's going to be a DC of 15.
Oh, that's so good. Could I get a guidance?
I'm
Are you
also
asking for guidance?
Yes. It's the perfect thing to use it for.
There you go.
Thank you.
perfect, absolutely perfect. The last ball bearing slides into place, and you hear like a very satisfying like click. Like this is the type of device you'd see on TikTok in a satisfying compilation. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
a very nice click, chunk, and you just hear like a tick, tick, tick as it slowly starts rotating. You know you've got about 10 seconds to close and lock the door.
You will do so. Satisfying.
Oh. And Muse has been purchased a potion, our first potion purchase of the
Muse has
campaign.
been purchased.
Yeah, a potion has been purchased for Muse, which is the potion of climbing. You have 2 sessions starting next session, of course. So basically 2 and whatever's left of this to use that potion before it expires.
The peanut just pops up and
Yeah, so what actually will happen. Sorry, I was getting to that. I wanted to explain the rules first. As you all are waiting and Eldar is um, finishing locking the door, you hear a sniffling sound at your feet, Muse, and you look down and there's Peanut, and they're sniffing your string of skulls. And you see that they have so quiet and so unnoticeable at first that they have their mouth halfway around a skull, but it seems like they chose one of the bigger skulls and they just can't quite get it down yet. And it looks like they're about ready to kind of just snap it.
so immediately just like nope, nope, drop it, drop.
Peanut lets go of mouth, looks up, wags tail. Can I have?
Yeah. You can have one of them.
Their tail starts wagging dangerously, given that this thing is covered in spiky spines.
Spiky
Spiky
thighs.
thighs.
Yes, you heard me. It does have. Tell me I'm wrong.
You are not wrong.
No. So do you give them like a skull?
He forks over one of her 32 skulls.
Uh-huh. A bedazzled one or a normal one? Or the
Evil.
tiefling one?
No, tiefling one is hers. She will hand over one of the shiny bedazzled ones.
Gotcha. It wags its tail happily as it chomps down, and then it stands up. Its tail stops wagging. Its back arches, and out of its mouth, a small potion bottle hits the ground and tink, 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 and rolls to your feet.
Oh. Thank you.
You
Frowns a little bit, bends down, picks it up. Are you okay?
Peanuts wagging their tail again. Oh yes, that was delicious, thank you. And they just, in a poof of smoke, gone. And you notice on the bottle is a handwritten note, like attached to it, that says, "Potion of climbing expires in like 16 hours or something like that.
Well, all right then. Timing.
Got like a clearance sticker on it.
Yeah. All right, Eldar. The door locks behind you, and
Mhm.
if you did, I know you're not going to, but if you did roll an investigation check, you would tell the door is untrapped, but locked.
And not just locked with an aftermarket padlock.
No, legit locked.
It is truly
OG
locked.
locked.
Yep.
Which, let me go back to my I'm going to go to my dynamic lighting thing, and I am actually going to make a different colored door for this because it's locked, so it's red now. Bam.
Good luck, daggers.
Oh god.
Oh, right. I need to I Eldar would have remembered this, but I didn't.
Sure.
But there is on the other side of that door a note saying locked by Eldar and Pud, and there will be one on this side as well.
Amazing. Yes. Okay. Are you guys continuing through? I was gonna say the name of the room that you can't see even if you were in there, so it would make no sense.
It's like what, A17? Or...
Yeah, 24A. I'll just let you know because what does that even mean?
Who fucking knows? Definitely not us.
I do.
Do you?
So let me open that up for you.
Yeah, we've had this door open.
You have,
for
you
a
really
while.
have, but we haven't really covered what's inside. We're about to now. Let me explain. In this room, you see two pillars of stone with about a 10-foot wide arch between them, and between them to support the 20-foot high ceiling. So this room's actually a bit higher than normal. Muse,
Mhm.
you have your detect magic up, I assume.
Yes.
You can
Was
tell.
just about to ask.
Yes, by all means. You can tell that hang on. I don't know if this room quite does it justice. Oh yeah, okay, it does. You can see the two pillars there. The area between these two pillars is radiating a faint aura of wild magic.
Oh fuck.
You also see near the base of each pillar are the skeletal remains of two orcs. You see a door up to your north and a hallway that continues beyond the pillars.
You... It's specifically between these two pillars, or like
Correct.
just in this area?
Correct. And the pillars are placed in such a way that if you want to go down that hallway, you have to pass through the pillars.
So you can't just scoot around.
Nope. They are butted up against the walls.
Well, looks like there's a wild magic archway over there. That should be fun.
That does sound fun.
Looks over at Eldar, trying to gauge if he's actually being serious right now.
Yeah, he's been serious. And he'll send his familiar through to test it.
Give me a second here.
Oh god, where'd Zoe go?
Roll me a d12.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Okay. The familiar flies through it. It flies through the aura of wild magic and into the hallway, and nothing
Mhm.
happens.
And it flies back.
Roll me a d12. It flies right back to you. Nothing happens.
Are you sure?
I'm extremely sure. Looks at you slightly offended.
Um,
Oh, for fuck's sake. walks through.
Roll me a d12.
Do you have to roll one for Din too?
Yes, actually, roll me 2d12.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Both fours.
There's
Well, one
one
of them's
more.
a four.
Four.
Finn flies through with no issues.
I guess familiars are immune.
However, as Muse flies through, as Muse walks through, she disappears completely. And I'm gonna pull Muse down into Secret Secrets.
Good.
Give me a second. Hi.
Hi.
You've turned invisible, but as far as everyone else knows, you just disappear.
Fun.
Also, uh, oh, this is amazing. You turn invisible for an hour, and while you can talk, you find it impossible to form words. Weirdly enough, this has no saving throw. Apparently, so just to let you know, the only thing that has a saving throw is the thing that could actually hurt you.
Cool. So, to clarify,
Uh-huh.
she can make sounds and noises, but not form words.
Correct.
Can she think
Yes,
words?
yes, you can think just fine. It just doesn't come out as words.
Cool. Awesome. Fantastic.
And the effect will last until I say it doesn't. Until things happen or time passes or whatnot. You're not sure. You ready to go back up?
Welcome back.
Hello. You guys see Muse just disappears.
Oh.
That's not good.
Should we go after her?
Could I roll an Arcana check to know, like, to see if I know anything about wild magic making people disappear?
Sure. Roll me an Arcana check. Yeah. It's wild magic. It could do almost anything. It's wild magic. It could have turned them
Yeah.
invisible. It could have plane teleported them. It could have moved them to the next room. It's wild magic.
Yeah. Muse, are you there? Was that a reply or no?
That was a reply heard in game. Yes.
Would you? Is that a yes? I don't understand a word you're saying. Are you okay?
And you clap once for yes and twice for no. Do you have hands? Oh, that's not a good question to ask if I'm asking you to clap, is it? I would tell you to blink, but I can't see you.
Do I have permission to communicate via thought reading? Moan once for yes, twice for no.
Real quick, I believe you has to be a creature you can see.
You can also cast it as a way to detect creatures who are invisible.
Oh,
and
yes,
then
yes,
lock into
yes,
those.
yes. That's true. Very true.
I'm waiting for a moan or 2 moans.
There's a bit of a pause and then.
Okay.
I love this dungeon. Oh my god, the familiars fly through time and time again. Nothing. Nothing.
Okay. He will cast detect thoughts and try and zone it on Muse.
Build irritation.
Pud is tugging at like, ask her if she has hands.
Increasing irritation.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any way to get back without crossing through this wild magic zone once more?
That's not what I wanted.
God, does she feel that Misty stepping would work, or would she still have to
Roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, fuck. Hey!
Well, you know enough about wild magic that mist or not mist, you are still passing through it.
So she thinks about it for a little bit. You can actually, you're reading her thoughts, so you
Yeah.
just see. Yeah, you
Nope,
just
that won't
see-
work.
There's a couple of you rolled really well. There's a couple of spells that might work, things like Thunderstep or things that would actually teleport you. But Misty Step, you are still moving. You're just able to move through anything a mist could, right?
No,
Yeah.
that's not true, because it's anywhere that you can see. So even if you're encased in concrete, if you're looking through your familiar's eyes, you could misty step to
That
it.
is true, but I've always pictured that as you're just passing through it. You're not disappearing in one place and reappearing another. You are still
Does
You
the
are
spell say
absolutely
teleportation?
teleporting.
Yeah, it's a teleportation
100%
spell.
teleport.
Oh.
I think you might be thinking of gaseous form.
No, I was
Mhm.
thinking of Misty Step, but that does change it. If it
You
literally
teleport
says
up to 30 feet.
Yeah, okay. Then that would work probably.
Yes, that should work. I suggest we avoid this entirely.
Okay, but
Since-
can you cast a spell with verbal components right now?
Ah, I mean, you can talk, right?
Wait, hang on. If this is like a racial feat, would it still require the same?
No, I would think not.
Mhm.
Yeah, because this is from
Correct. If it's a racial feed or like something you gain from some sort of like Fey touched feed or something, no, I would say
yeah,
that
this is Fey teleportation.
then the verbal component can be ignored and you can do it. You are going to have trouble with anything that is verbal though.
Oh fuck me. Okay. So you just see like a rush of like thoughts and calculations and arcane bullshit, and finally it's just like, I mean, yes, technically, but also it's just going to be a giant pain in the ass to do anything like this. Also, Den is going to well, no, I can just bring yeah, no, that's fine. Do we not want to go through this? You seemed very gung-ho about going through this.
I did not. I was testing, and then when I was unconvinced that it was magical, you convinced me. So definitely not. This is wild magic. You should absolutely not walk through it. That is terrible, terrible thing to do.
You can't see this, but you can almost feel her like putting her fists on her hips, like cocking her head to the side and giving you a very judgmental look.
No, you get a mental image of that in her mind.
Yes, you just see her in your head doing that pose and go just like tisking.
Look,
Actually,
wild
no, you
magic-
just hear a tisk.
Wild magic's unpredictable. I mean, it's very unfortunate that my familiar was unaffected. Otherwise, I would have been able to prevent any kind. It's just if you can misty step through, we'll be fine. I'm sure this will wear off. I'm sure this will wear off.
So we're not going through this. We're not going this direction.
Oh, does that lead to somewhere?
No one's explored it.
Does that lead to somewhere? Just
Muse will
he'll
look
misty
in this
step.
direction. Oh my god.
You misty step to the other side.
Uh-huh.
With no issues. I'll save you some time. You explore the hallway. It goes nowhere.
Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
But
All
it
right.
takes a minute or two to do it, though. Actually, oh yeah, there's the thing there. So here. Boop.
Okay, that makes much more sense.
I don't know why they put a thing there. There's no actual door there. I don't know why they did that.
That is far less confusing.
Yeah. So you're actually oh, yeah, you're on the other side of the pillars, so you're over here. Yeah, dead end hallway.
Is this just like rubble or something?
Yeah, it's just some stone blocks on the floor. That's something the map designer added.
Hmm.
All right, what are you guys doing?
I'm misty stepping back.
Okay, you missed your step back.
Muse sighs.
And
Misty
letting
steps over.
letting detect thoughts, or rather dismissing detect thoughts.
Gotcha. And then Muse, you said you missed your step.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as with any invisibility spell, once you cast a spell, the spell ends. Muse teleports into the room, becomes instantly visible.
Ah, and the talking thing, is that still?
I don't know. Why don't you find out?
No, he's asking
Oh,
directly.
gotcha. You are able to form words, yes.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Wonderful, excellent,
Fantastic.
fantastic.
You're very lucky for that racial feat, because casting a spell will end it, but when you can't talk,
Mm-hmm.
but well done.
Well, you could also attack action, right?
That is true, but I mean, you'd have to get into combat to think about that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, most players wouldn't think to just attack a wall or something.
I mean, she could have just reached over and smacked Eldar.
But
No,
again,
that would have caused another magical.
but the thing is, like with this one, I mean, you have to know that a spell or attack would even end such an effect, which you have no reason to know that.
Or your party member just does something really stupid.
Yes!
Which is not outside of the realm of possibilities here.
Oh, man. Eldar, there's a door there.
Mhm. There is,
There is indeed.
and yeah, is it trapped and locked?
It's not trapped or locked.
Wow, who could have
Who
foreseen the
could have
circumstance?
seen this coming?
All right.
Pud has reached up and is like patting Muse's hands. You do have them.
Yes, I do. Thank you for your concern, Pud.
You're welcome.
Cat's head.
All right. You see another small hallway that leads to a second door. I'm going to save you some time and effort. Not trapped, not locked. I'm just going to remove that door because I think it's just kind of crappy that they just put a room there for no reason when there's just a hallway anyway.
Wait, no, there must be some reason. Investigation check.
Yeah, I know, right? I am actually going to have to we're going to have to stop here because anything that you run into after this could take time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of things you might run into, but any of them are going to take some time, more than we
Mhm.
have. So we're going to go ahead and call this here. But good news, we're back. Yay. Though I don't think we're going to be streaming next Friday. Is everyone available on Wednesday? Because we actually move Friday night and Saturday.
Yes.
I'm available.
Sweet. So our next game is actually going to be Wednesday next week.
Oh yeah.
And then Wednesday the week after that too, because I have LARP. Me and
Mark it on
Shyla.
your calendars.
Yes, the
Yay.
next 2 weeks will be on Wednesday. And we will see you all then. Thank you for joining us,
Bye.
everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.